Hey, what's up, y'all? This your girl, KeyIce, and welcome to the Rep My Block show. It's just me today. Unfortunately, my co-host, Grandmastar Bass Monstar, he is at an event. We wish him the best of luck at his event. And we had a delayed start today because, woo, what a Saturday it has been. I can't even, man, y'all, I can't even explain it. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about today. And since it's just me, I'm going to keep things more short because I don't have anybody to conversate with right now. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I do appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show. And as y'all know, we start off with the birthdays every week. So let me pull up the birthdays. There were so many. I'm like, oh, wow. Most of the celebrities, I have come to the conclusion that most of y'all celebrities are definitely Scorpios. For real. Because, where's that? Let's see the birthdays. Here we go. Here they are. So, and let me change this layout real quick so I can get out your way. Okay, so the birthdays that we had this is from the ones you're seeing here on the screen are from October 24th through now, because we were on a 2-week hiatus with the show. But let's give a huge birthday shout out to all of these people. Big Boogie, his birthday was on October 24th. Mariah the Scientist had a birthday on the 27th. Annalie Choppa's birthday was November the 1st. Ella May, hers was on the 3rd. Fly J, if y'all remember Fly J from the rap game, Jermaine Dupri's rap game, she had a birthday on November 3rd. R&B Foma out of San Antonio, he's an up-and-coming artist. His birthday was November 5th. Fate Dog, also out of San Antonio, Texas, November 6th. He's a legend out of San Antonio. SZA, the legendary SZA, she had a birthday on the 8th. Pooh Shiesty, his birthday was also on the 8th. Erica Mena. Now again, I told y'all there's a lot. So Erica Mena, she had a birthday on the 8th. Scarface, November 9th. Then we had French Montana, November 9th. Eve, I know it's on the screen, but it's tiny for me, so I'm also looking at my notes over here. Eve, her birthday was on November 10th. Then the late Big Pun, his birthday was also on November 10th. And for whatever reason, because we've been covering birthdays for a couple years, at least through the company, like on our social media Facebook page. And all this time, I didn't realize that Eve and Big Pun had the same birthday. I was like, wow, that's a trip, because they were, both out of Terror Squad. But anyway, Warren G, he also had a birthday on November 10th. Then we had Amarion, his was the 12th. And Boozy Badass. Boozy had a birthday on the 14th. His was yesterday. And then today is E40's birthday. Happy birthday to everybody. But like I told y'all, there's tons of birthdays. I was like, dang. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of parties. I've been seeing videos of different parties going on to celebrate these birthdays and stuff like that. Shout out to all of them. And I also want to give a special shout out to T-Rell. He's an R&B artist. He's also a rapper, but he was recently in my city, San Antonio, Texas. He had did a show out here at Sam's Burger Joint. So I want to play a short video of him giving San Antonio a shout out as we give him a shout out. But let me pull that video up real quick for y'all. He's real cool. Met him in person a couple years back. He's super cool.
San Antonio, what's poppin'? I'm fucking love y'all.
See, it was real short, but I just wanted to give him that shout out because he's always shown love to home-based promotions and home-based radio. Also, big shout out to Vedo. But yes, he was here. Also, Vedo performed here as well this past week. They were both here on November the 5th, so shout out to both of them. So let's get into the trending topics this week. There were a lot of them. As y'all know, Cardi B just had her baby, and she, her baby with Stefon Diggs, they had a boy. Congratulations to them. And she had a video. She was flaunting her post-pregnancy body. Let's check out this video. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Cardi. She's back, y'all. She is already in the gym and she's preparing for her tour, which starts really soon. I think it starts in February, if I'm not mistaken. But she's dedicated. She's like, this is a new phase of my life and it's me versus me. That's what I'm talking about because that's all it really is. At the end of the day, it's always going to be you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you got yourself to look. But yeah, she is doing her thing. Much love to her. Much love to their baby. And just miss all the haters, Cardi. That's all I gotta say because you only can do what you can do at this point. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. But Young Thug was also trending, and I have my notes to the side. So if you wonder why she looking over there, um, but before we do that, we also want to give our condolences though to um, Young Bleed. Young Bleed was from he actually performed at Versus. He recently performed at Versus. And as y'all know, he was with No Limit. And it was a sudden death, unfortunately. He actually died in Las Vegas. So there had been a lot of rumors and speculation about his condition and things like that after the performance at Versus because, there had been an after party. And that's actually his son ended up posting a video because there were so many rumors. They had started saying that he had passed away before he even actually passed away. And it was really unfortunate. We do give our biggest condolences to his family and his loved ones, and we're keeping you guys in prayer. He was out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and again, he was with No Limit. And so many people have shown love to him, and it's just a really amazing thing to see. And it's just, I just hate to see that. But, the good thing about all of that was just the fact that he was able to showcase his music right before his death. So I really thought that was good. Even though, of course, his death was unfortunate. He died from a brain aneurysm. There had been some complications. When his son posted about his death, like how things had happened, he basically had said that his dad had been taking, blood pressure medication, but it didn't seem to have been related to actually, what happened. But at the end of the day, he said that it was determined that the cause of his death was a brain complications from a brain aneurysm. So our condolences again to his family. I do want to backtrack a little bit because I know I mentioned Young Thug a moment ago. Down below, underneath me, normally we have a different layout because it's usually me and my co-host, so you can see the name, but it's just the name of the artist right above me where it's cutting off, and then down below it shows where they're from because it's Rep My Block. We show y'all where the artists are coming from, where they repping. So Young Thug, he was trending this week because he was at the men's GQ party event, and he was just, outside of it signing autographs. And TMZ, they be everywhere. So one of their reporters, they had asked him about, they were like, "Where's Mariah?" And he said, "She's at a show." And then the guy said, "Well, how are y'all doing? Are y'all still rocking? Are you and Mariah still rocking? Like, are y'all good?" And Young Thug was like, "Yeah, of course. I just put a baby in her." And he's casually just signing autographs. I was like, "Really, Young Thug?" But I mean, whoop-de-doo, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how he is now. So I guess he's gonna be known from here on out to just blurt things out. I'm not sure if Mariah wanted him to blurt that out yet, but apparently he even said she might even be performing later with a baby bump because I know she's about to go on tour. But congratulations to them, if indeed that is the case, or I don't know if he's just like manifesting it into existence or what, but because we haven't seen any reports from her confirming that she is in fact pregnant. But congratulations to them if that is the case. Let's see here. We have Kendrick Lamar. Oh yeah, we always have his picture up. He's out of Compton, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations to Kendrick. He was trending this week because he surpassed Drake's record for the most selling concert tour by a rap artist. Drake, he was previously number one for this, for his 2023 It's a Blur tour that he went on with 21 Savage. Some people were saying J. Cole too, but if y'all remember, J. Cole was at the very, very, very beginning of it, and then it was like one or two shows, and then 21 Savage joined the tour, and that's when it really took off. So that tour had grossed over $320.5 million, and with the total 1.3 million tickets sold. However, Kendrick Lamar and SZA, they came in and they have grossed $332.1 million. This is only so far. This is just so far out of 34 out of the 47 shows that they've had. So a lot of people have been like clowning Drake, saying, "Oh, you had 80 shows and you only brought in 320 million." When people are still comparing. Please, y'all, let's stop all the comparisons going into 2026 because it is getting kind of annoying to compare them like that, because both of them are great artists. But I did want to show some love to K Dot because he is really doing his thing. I know his tour, I believe it's going to be ending in a few months. He has like 4 more shows, and his tour is going to be ending overseas. But his average attendance has been 45,119 to be exact. This is coming from touring data. So yeah, that's what's up with that. And I also want to touch base on, because The Weeknd, he was trending this week. He's one of those artists that doesn't typically be trending like that. But he was trending because y'all know Hurricane Melissa had hit a couple weeks back, and it's been devastating to Jamaica. Our prayers again to everybody that's been affected by that hurricane. But The Weeknd, he has made a huge contribution of $350,000 towards the relief efforts. And he has a foundation, it's called EXO Humanitarian Fund. And so out of that organization, he has been working with the World Food Program to go ahead and help 200,000 Jamaicans. So that's amazing, and big shout out to The Weeknd. It's still crazy when I think about all that stuff. I'm like, nope. But Big Sean, he was trending this week too, and he was trending for something not so great, but he ended up clearing it up. So what had happened was, there was a video of him at an event, and this girl, as y'all see, picture here, this girl, she was walking behind him, but she was walking kind of close behind him. So people started assuming that he broke up with Jhené Aiko and that he was dating this girl. And so people started looking her up to see who she was, and they say she's a model. However, so it started trending that he broke up with Jhené for this model, which is actually not the case. He ended up clearing it up under one of the comments of one of the trending posts. And, he was basically like, man, I don't know this girl. She was just walking behind me. He said that she was with some other guy that was at this, I think it was music video shoot or something. But he said that she was with that guy, and that guy was cut out of the camera's view. So that's what that was. He has not said that him and Jhené have broken up or anything like that, but people had started dogging Jhené out and all this stuff, saying you were with him for 10 years and he didn't marry you. They were saying all kinds of silly stuff. But he also stood up for Jhené as well. And he was like, man, I don't like how y'all talking about my baby mama and all this stuff. So big ups to him for coming out and actually standing up for Jhené and letting everybody know that he does not know that girl. He does not know her. So y'all, stop all that mess. Y'all be just running with it. And the thing is, people don't even like research stuff. Y'all just be running. Like, don't run with it. Just, look it up a little bit. So he's not with this girl. He does not know her. So, but speaking of a couple that actually is a real couple now, Blueface, he is now dating Hazel E, who's also a rapper. And she used to date Cat Williams. She dated Cat Williams for a while. But now she's with Blueface. They got together pretty quick from what it looks like recently. However, he had said he inboxed her some years ago. I want to say back, I think they said either 2018 or 19 is when they initially met. And then he had inboxed her or whatever, but she was with somebody, so she kind of ignored him or whatever. And then, so a lot of people were like, man, how you get with her? Like he's on a rebound type of thing from his girlfriend just come out of prison the girlfriend that dissed him. But he was like, no, I've been trying to get with Hazel for a minute, for some years. So this is something that's been kind of like, there's been some interest there already. Because, obviously there is an age difference. I believe they said she's like 45 or something like that, and he's much younger. So people were like talking about that. But I mean, they seem happy. They did an interview this past week, and they were talking about they were talking about how they met and all this stuff, and just wishing them the best. He also just dropped a new track called Baby Girl. Now Blueface, I don't like the track. I'll just say it. I don't like the track, but I will say it is very catchy. It's actually trending #1 on YouTube right now. I feel like, it's the type of artist he is, because if y'all kind of know the songs that are like known to be kind of big for him, they're kind of silly. Like all of them are kind of silly. So this one right here, he's basically saying, like he did a little promo that went viral because he had recorded himself in video talking about what type of girl he's looking for. And he's like, man, I need me a golden retriever. Like, and so he's like, it's just funny. Y'all got to check out the video. We actually have it up on our YouTube and our Facebook. So if y'all check out his videos where he's saying this. But anyway, Hazel Lee is supposedly like his golden retriever that he found, because golden retrievers are known to be very loyal. But then later, a video also trended of his mom. He was like speaking to his mom about him having a golden retriever, like just basically wanting somebody loyal. But then she was like, okay, well, he saw a video of one of his fans post his song, and he was saying, oh, wow, she's a German Shepherd. And so when he was talking to his mom was saying, man, do you know German Shepherds, they're one of the most loyal, they're one of the most loyal dogs. And he's like, man, maybe I need me a German Shepherd. Forget a golden retriever. So that's how all of that came about. You know what I'm saying? I'll just give you the backstory. But the promo for the whole song is really interesting. The fact that he is referring to women as dogs. A lot of women are seeing that as disrespectful, but then you got the younger women that are like, hey, okay, I'm a dog, and they're comparing themselves with different dogs. So it's all silly. But anyway, congratulations to them on their new relationship. But I do want to talk about young Jeezy, because Jeezy, I say young Jeezy still. Y'all, I'm old school. He just goes by Jeezy now. So Jeezy, he's been trending because he actually broke the record in the Guinness Book of World Records I'm going to actually read this part. Okay. For the largest orchestra at a hip hop music concert. He had 101 members of the Color or Noise Orchestra. So on Saturday, November 1st is when he broke this record. As y'all know, he likes to be sharp. He'd be dressing up real sharp for his events and for his performances now and stuff like that. And he had an event where he had an orchestra performance November 1st. He brought out 101 members of this orchestra to perform with him, and that's how he got in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's something I would have never imagined. Out of all artists in the world, I would have never imagined that it would be Jeezy to break that type of record. But congratulations to him. And he's always, he's just been keeping it real lately, just doing his thing. He always keeps it real. I say lately, but always. Let's talk about Max B a little bit. A lot of people didn't really know who Max B was until this week. I have to admit, I didn't know too much about Max B until this week as well. However, going back to listen to some of his music, I recognized some of the songs. I was like, I didn't even know that was his song. So Max B, He is a rap artist that was released after 17 years being in prison. And he was known as, his nickname was, and I didn't even know his nickname was like the Silver Surfer. So when he got out of prison, he was given a chain, like a pendant, Silver Surfer with his face on it. And I've seen so many different comments and things, but he was trending in particular because the day he got out, he did so many. I think they said he did like 5 or 6 different activities. Like, and they were like, I saw a quote saying like, "How did he fit 26 hours into a whole day?" Just they were just basically saying, "Man, he was just on the go." There's only 24 hours in a day, but basically they're like, "Man, he fit 26 hours into a 24-hour day." So he is. Some people referring him to the Drake before there was Drake. I don't know about that. But some people are saying that. He went to a football game. He ran into Method Man at the football game. That's when everybody found out that Method Man is a professional photographer for the NFL. Shout out to Method Man. But and then he went to French Montana's birthday party. French Montana actually met him right as he was getting out the darn van from the prison, which was cool. He greeted him immediately. And then one thing that was trending about him this week, about Max B this week, that was incorrect, was that they were saying that he proposed to his girlfriend. However, that was not a proposal. He was already married, and he just gave his wife a new ring. So that's what happened with that. But he's expected to be on tour really soon. I know he's being booked like crazy right now. So be on the lookout for new music from Max B. For sure, for sure. There were so many things going on this week. It's not funny. I do want to give a shout out to Kalani though, because she had her new release, Out the Window. Man, that track is hitting. You know what I'm saying? That's really nice. It's a real nice track. Y'all know Folded, that has gone super viral, but Out the Window, I see that going almost as viral because that is also a beautiful song. Shout out to Kalani because she has been like really on her promo with her music. And I like that she gave a shout out to her team because she has a great team as well that's been helping her with these things. People were also talking about Diddy this week. Diddy, he was trending mainly because people were saying that he had violated his time in prison by drinking alcohol. However, that came out to be untrue, and unfortunately, it was reported by some of the major urban entertainment media by that point. So it was like just a trending little gossip thing, but apparently the source had lied about it. And he actually did end up getting a violation while in prison this week, but it was not for that because that actually did not happen. And his son also had confirmed that through, I believe, the Breakfast Club. Shout out to them. They're the ones that had mentioned that his son, one of his sons said that never happened. However, the one that did happen was there was like a phone violation. I guess they're not supposed to be on the phone so much within a certain amount of time or something like that. And so he had violated some type of phone violation, and they gave him an additional month of time due to that. So he was supposed to be released, May, it was like a May date, and it's like a couple years, like, because he's serving 50 months. So, but they changed it to June. So that's what happened with that. And I do want to touch base on this other topic. Let me see if we have a picture, because I like to show y'all some visuals. I don't have a visual of this particular topic, so let me take him off of here, because I don't like to be talking about one thing when somebody else is up here. But let me take it off. Here we go. There we go. So the thing that happened this week, I'm just finding the right layout. There we go. The other thing that had happened this week that I wanted to talk to y'all about was with Kanye West, because Kanye, he he has officially apologized to the Jewish community. He met with a really well-respected Jewish rabbi this week, and he expressed his regrets, and he was forgiven by that rabbi. So not everybody, of course, within the Jewish community has forgiven him for his crazy comments. I believe they had actually the comments, when tracking them back in time, they had started in October of 2022. He had been saying like a whole bunch of like anti-Semitic things and things like that. However, he has come forward and said he wants to take full accountability. He is taking accountability. He's blaming part of his comments towards his bipolar disorder. And if y'all remember though, some months back, I want to say back in April, he had came out and said he was misdiagnosed with having bipolar disorder, and that he actually was diagnosed with autism. So that part is kind of fuzzy to me. However, the fact that he came forward and scheduled time with, the rabbi to actually backtrack what he said and actually apologize. I mean, I feel like that is a step going forward, but we'll see what happens from here with that. And that's just one of those things where it's like, they say, I don't want to start quoting any of the things that they say, but as y'all know, that's one of the things that people talk about sometimes, like, should we forgive this person? Not this one, sorry. Not Jake Paul. Klay Thompson. Sean from Straight Official Freestyles, he does Freestyle Fridays on Fridays, and his banner was still in here from the other topic. But Klay Thompson, I did want to touch base on this one because Klay Thompson, as y'all know, he's dating Megan Thee Stallion, and this week there was like a really mean comment that former NBA player Patrick Beverley had mentioned about Klay Thompson's performance, because he has not been performing his best games by far, and I believe he's starting from the bench now. He's not a starter anymore with the Dallas Mavericks. But Patrick Beverley had referred to Megan Thee Stallion as the P word, like the private part P word. Like, oh, maybe he's not playing good because of that. And I'm like, what? That was crazy. And so Klay Thompson, he took up for Megan Thee Stallion. He was like, man, that's very disrespectful. That's not verbatim, but he was basically saying that was very disrespectful. He was like, how would you like if I called one of your wives that, And that's a really valid point. I think that was really messed up. But a lot of people were saying, oh, but that's what she raps about. But I'm like, so what? She's still a woman, you know what I'm saying? She still deserves respect for being a woman, and she is in a relationship with Klay Thompson right now. So that was just all messed up. But I also want to talk about Jermaine Dupri had made a comment about, I'm just writing his name in here so y'all know what I'm talking about exactly. But Jermaine Dupri had made a comment about AI artists recently. So there's this AI artist by the name of Zanaya Monet. And if y'all think about it, another artist with the name with Monet on it is Victoria Monet. So that was something that caught my attention immediately. But Zanaya Monet is an AI artist that recently hit number 30 on Billboard. And Jermaine Dupri was like, well, what's the difference between her or any AI artist and Milli Vanilli? Because Milli Vanilli, they had caught a lot of slack for not singing their songs. And so he's like, well, what's the difference? But the difference is, Sorry, man, I don't have my water by me. I was like, man, I'm live. I got to clear my throat. But so basically, he's basically just saying, why is Milli Vanilli not treated better? Because they actually had some awards taken from them after people found out that they didn't actually sing their songs. And so there's a big controversy in the music world right now among professionals and artists about this type of thing. My personal opinion on it is that I believe AI artists or AI music should have its own category. They should not be categorized with um, human artists, because what the F? Like, why are AI artists being categorized as, in the same groups as human artists? That's how I feel about it. So there's a lot of lawsuits going around with respect to AI music in general. So we're gonna be keeping up with this topic among the next few months to see what transpires, because it has been pretty crazy. And the owner or the creator for the artist Zanaya Monet, she was recently interviewed, and she was saying that she feels like her AI artist is an extension of her. And she was like, she understands that there will be backlash, but she was like, well, I wrote the lyrics. These are poems that I wrote that I turned into music, and I created a persona, to present my music. But it's still like, it's one of those things where it's like, people have to realize sometimes, like, when you create those AI personas, anybody can go and create a very, very, very similar persona as you. Because the AI, they're just basically, you're supposed to use those as tools just to help enhance what you already can do, not necessarily replace something. And so that is where a lot of these lawsuits are coming from right now, because I think people are just not really understanding how they're supposed to use AI. And unfortunately, that's one of those types of technology where it's like, they really should have given everybody like a how to do this type of, like a video, oh, how to use AI type of thing. But no, they're just like it's all out there. Like, oh, just do this, like, so people are like picking up different tools and trying to figure out how to use it themselves. To me, it's chaos. It's really chaotic, but I really hope that they find a way to I really hope they find a way for, everybody's creativity and things like that to all come together without disrupting what humans can do, even though it's been done in almost every other thing. But let's talk about NBA Herm for a minute, because he was also trending this week. Because if y'all don't know who NBA Herm is, he is one of NBA YoungBoy's artists. And so he was trending this week because he had said that he doesn't mind tying NBA YoungBoy's shoes and basically doing little things for him, like little tasks that he feels like NBA YoungBoy shouldn't do, because he's like, well, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have what I have. And so people were like, what, you tying a grown man's shoes and, doing all this stuff? But what else was he? Let me see. I had some notes here. Oh, holding his umbrellas and opening doors for him. Now, I don't have a problem with the opening doors part, as long as he's also opening doors for the ladies behind NBA YoungBoy. Because, like, if you just open a door for NBA YoungBoy and just letting it close for the lady behind him, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So, but yeah, that's what he was trending for. And people are like, why are you holding an umbrella for a grown man? Why are you stooping down to tie a grown man's shoes? And why are you holding the door for him? So, but, again, his reasoning is like, man, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for NBA YoungBoy. So I'm gonna take care of him like he take care of me. So that's how he sees it. But that's what he has been trending for, because I know y'all may have been seeing like the just the titles of things. A lot of times you'll see the headline but not really know what it's about. So I'm here to let y'all know, give y'all more detail about that. The artist B.O.B, he was recently trending this week also. because unfortunately he was accused of sexual assault after one of his shows. And this was back in April, and it was in San Diego at a downtown hotel. However, he has denied it. You know, his team is denying it. The girl that is alleging the sexual assault, she's saying that he had kept her in his hotel room, and that even his wife had walked in, and that his wife was told to leave the room. Um, it was just a really weird case. I was really surprised to see it because B.O.B, he's, you know, he keeps it, you know, he's real quiet. You know what I'm saying? You really don't hear much about him until he's dropping. So I was like, what? B.O.B, that don't sound like him. You know what I mean? So you got to look up the case to, you know, get more details. But I'm just letting you know that he was trending because of this week. I'm not here to tell you what I think or not like that because I really don't know too much about it myself. But another person that was trending for being locked up, there was actually two other people, but one of the other people was Akon. And ironically, he has that song "Locked Up." You know, what I'm saying? I was like, when I heard that he had been arrested this week, and it's not funny. I'm not laughing. You know, I'm just kind of silly like that sometimes. But when I had heard that Akon had been locked up this week, I immediately started singing that song in my head. I was like, locked up. That's messed up. But anyway, he was arrested for something very minor. He was arrested for an outstanding warrant that he had. And it was just for expired license. And he had a failure to appear. You know, he's busy. He's always traveling between countries and stuff. So I definitely can see how that slipped. So he was not in jail long. He was released within some hours. But if y'all did see his, because for whatever reason, these blogs and stuff, they like to post the darn jail photos and I'm like, really? The mug shots? So if y'all saw his mug shot going around the internet this week, that's what it was for. It was just for an expired license and failure to appear. So it was something very, very minor. But another artist that was trending for something a little bit bigger than that, well, actually quite a bit bigger, was and I thought I had his picture, but I don't got his picture in here. Yeah, I don't have his picture in here. But it was Rod Wave. Rod Wave was also trending. I'm just typing it on here so y'all can see it. Rod Wave was trending because he was arrested for something major. It was a felony for felony gun and drug possession. Gun charge with drug possession. So, I don't know, you know, right when, because he had just said he was about to release some music. And then right when he said that, boom, he goes to jail. I'm like, what? You know? But I'm sure he'll be okay too. This stuff, you know, stuff that just happens in passing. These artists, they know what time it is. They know what's up. But Michael Jackson was trending too. I wish I had his picture or even an old video for y'all to see, but I don't have that today. I apologize. Michael Jackson was trending because even though he is passed away, he's still reaching Billboard's top 10, and he has done it across 6 decades now. That is a huge accomplishment. Shout out to Michael Jackson. I know you see us up, you know, from heaven, and you're like, I know you're so happy about your accomplishments right now because that's crazy. I was like, what? But he has been named the highest paid deceased celebrity of 2025. The highest paid deceased celebrity of 2025 is Michael Jackson. Who would have ever thought? It's like, wow. He has made over $105 million this year. Again, he is deceased and he's doing this. So when I see artists complaining about the industry, this, industry, that, Michael Jackson, he sold all this stuff for 6 decades. So I really don't hear no complaints. I really don't. Just let y'all know. I'm going to start being hard on y'all artists. When y'all approach us, I'm going to be hard on y'all because first of all, we're going to let y'all know what the business is, you know, how the music stuff work. But then after that, I'm going to be like, Better get to business, you know what I'm saying? Get your business in order. But Chris Brown, he was also trending because he's the only artist in history. Now, this is even past beyond Michael Jackson. But he's the only artist in history so far to remain on the Billboard for Billboard Hot 100 for 21 consecutive years. Like what? What? And if y'all remember, he had that interview a couple years ago. He had that interview where he said he has 12,000 unreleased tracks? And then on top of it, he's the only artist in history to remain on the Billboard Top 100 for 21 years? So this is basically telling me if he has 12,000 unreleased tracks, mind you, all the tracks he released are fire, then he's going to be like on the Billboard Hot 100 for the rest of his life. That's my projection, because that's wild. I was like, whoa, I couldn't believe that. That was wild, y'all. That's so wild. I'm still bugging over that one. And and he was even blacklisted for a while. So the fact that he was blacklisted by the industry and then he came up out of that to do what he's doing now, I was like, whoa, that is crazy. But Royce the 5'9", he was also trending because he has been battling with, it's called lingual dystonia. And he has said that it basically, but what that is, I didn't really know what it was. I had to look it up right now and read my notes for it. But it's a rare neurological condition. And it causes involuntary spasms in the tongue, which makes it difficult to speak. So he has not been able to speak very well or record music because of this condition. Our prayers go out to him, because I'm pretty sure as a music artist that is really extremely difficult to go through and to experience. I do also know that during his interview with Rolling Stone, he had also said that condition, it affects his brain, like it affects part of his brain where enough dopamine is not produced. And I believe he said it's the left part of his brain where a lot of dopamine is not produced, and is leading to a chemical imbalance. But all of this has resulted in him not being able to actually speak very well. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And people, fans, they were getting funny in the comments and stuff, talking about, well, how did he tell Rolling Stone that? I'm like, what? I mean, for all we know, he could have typed it out. Or it doesn't mean that he can't speak at all. It just means that he has trouble speaking. So when they were talking, people be saying some silly, ignorant stuff. And I'm just like, this is what humanity is come to? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really messed up. But our prayers do go out to Royce the 5'9", because I don't know if that's even curable. I really don't know. But I do know he's being treated for the condition. GloRilla, I do want to give her a special shout out because her dad just retired and she got him. What she give him? Forgot my notes. She got him a white Jaguar. So he just retired from the post office. Thank you, sir, for your dedication to our country, because, being a postal service worker, I hear stories because I knew people that worked for the post office that retired, and it's just like, yeah, y'all deal with a lot. So I'm really glad that she was able to do that for her dad. And I had no idea until I saw the video of her, gifting him that Jaguar, that her dad was working for the post office. I didn't even know that, because you would think she's been famous for some while. So apparently her dad had continued to work, during her success, and he ended up retiring. So I thought that was so cool. I was like, Glow, go, yeah, Glow. That was nice. But I mean, as far as the rest of the topics, we're pretty much done for the week, y'all. I just have to tell y'all about these new drops. And let us know in the comments if y'all heard any of this music, because there were some really cool drops, new releases. So Meek Mill, he just released an EP. It has 4 songs on it, and it's called Indie Pack Volume 1. I started listening to it, and it is the traditional Meek Mill sound. So if you feeling Meek Mill stuff, then yeah, that's for you. He has a song. One of the songs is featuring Friday. I know Friday. He's funny to me because some years back he had said he was going to retire from music, but then he came back. But I'm glad he came back because he's a really cool artist. But he has a track on that EP with Meek Mill. And then Summer Walker, y'all already know, man, we saw that rollout. She has her album out. It's called Finally Over It. And her promo for that album was basically dating elderly men. So, on the cover of the album, it's like her, like she's in a wedding dress, like she's about to marry an old elderly man. I won't say old, but elderly man. So it's been really cool. It's been really interesting. She was also on the Jennifer Hudson show, and she wore a wedding dress there as she went down their line doing her dance and stuff. So shout out to Summer Walker because she's one of those artists that she her music speaks louder than her. She really don't be like all out there saying too much herself, but her music speaks a lot. And then she also has her Apple Music podcast, so y'all make sure y'all check her out over there. Who else? Pudo was a guest recently. He's a friend of Home Base Promotion. Shout out to Pudo. He released his mixtape, and it's called Pewphoria. He has been a guest on the not my show, but the Freestyle Fridays show. So on Fridays, hopefully he'll be on soon because he did just drop the mixtape, and we did invite him back on. So he actually just performed out, and he's from New York, and he had performed out there in Times Square recently. Y'all could go to his page. It's Pudo_official, PUUTO. But yeah, shout out to him. Kevin Gates featuring Rick Ross. They have a remix to I'm a Dog. If y'all don't know, if just me saying the title of the song, if you don't know it, you will know it if you hear that song, because that's a really popular song, Kevin Gates. But he got Rick Ross on it, and I'm kind of feeling it. But I feel like he didn't need Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Gates, that song was good, as is. But shout out to them for that remix. And then I mentioned earlier, Blueface, Baby Girl. There were so many other drops though. I'm just telling y'all about the main ones that I was tracking myself because I'm also a curator with Home Base Radio, and we play some of the music as it comes out, and we're tracking different artists and their drops, and we'll place it on our playlist over on Spotify, Apple Music, Audio Mac, Amazon Music, yeah, everywhere, YouTube, everywhere. So make sure y'all go to homebaseradio.com. And as far as interviews, we have an interview coming up next week with Molly from Federal Music Group. She's going to be on the show live with us next week. And Grandmastar Bass Monstar will also be back with me. It's going to be a great interview. Y'all, she is so good. Y'all, she's real good. Like, she does freestyles every Friday, she's dropping a freestyle. But she's been on, her freestyles have been featured over on our Freestyle Friday show a few times. So you can just go to our YouTube and just type her name in, and you'll see some of her freestyles pop up. But she's actually going to be live with me. I'm gonna be telling Sean and Don, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I got it first. Because you would think she would go on their show first, but no, she chose my show. I feel so good. I feel so happy. So she's gonna be with us live next Saturday. And next Saturday will be at our regular time again. So 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, y'all, I hope you have had a great evening. I hope you're going to have a great rest of the weekend. It's been a pleasure with y'all this week, and I hope you have a good one, and peace.